Jai Hind to all. This is Chelsea Sen, Assistant Professor in IT Department, AKGC Ghaziabad. We are going to discuss the topics in the cloud computing. So these were the contents of the cloud computing. These were the contents we are going to discuss in this particular lecture. As we have already discussed about what is the cloud computing and what are the service models, what are the different models or services provided by the cloud computing, we have already discussed. So today we are going to discuss about the advantages and the benefits of the cloud computing. Then we are going to discuss about the various risks which are coming into the cloud computing. Then we will be going to discuss about the detailed evolution of a cloud computing, that how the cloud computing came into the existence. Then further we will going to discuss about the characteristics which is evolved in the various services like IaaS, PaaS, software as a service. So these are the various characteristics of the cloud computing which we are going to discuss. So coming on the first topic, that is the advantages of a cloud computing. As we all know that the cloud computing has a various numerous advantages. So just discuss about some of the advantages over here. So first advantages over here is that one can access the application as a utilities. Means we can easily access these application as a utilities over the internet. That we all know that we have done all the things as a digitalized, so we can easily access any applications over the internet. Next advantages of a cloud computing is that one can easily manipulate and configure these applications online at any time. Means we can easily change the applications anywhere and anytime. Now the next advantages is that this is the most basic advantages of the cloud computing, that is it does not require the installing softwares. Means we don't have to pay for that, we don't have to pay for the maintenance, we don't have to install the software to access or manipulate that cloud application. So it is also advantages. The next advantages that the cloud computing offers, that is the online development and the deployment tool, which come under your PaaS models. Means platform as a service. Cloud computing provide us the platform where we can easily develop the software on the internet and we can easily deploy the tools we are having. It also provides the various deployment tools so that we can easily deploy our software, and it also provides us the runtime environment which is going to be provided through the PaaS model. As we have already discussed about the various models like the IaaS model, PaaS model, SaaS model. So under the category of a platform as a service model, it provides us the online development and the deployment tool. Plus, it also provides the programming runtime environment. Now, the next advantages of a cloud computing is it provides us the resources. Means whatever the resources, cloud resources are available over the network in a manner that provides at the platform independent access to any type of clients. Means it can provides the resources to the any type of a client. Means we can say that it is the on-demand self-service. This is the major advantages of a cloud computing. We will also discuss this particular topic in the characteristics of the cloud computing. It is the basic characteristics of a cloud computing also. So it provides that whenever we require the resources, we can easily access these resources and we can easily interact with this cloud service provider who provides these services. Now, coming to the advantages related to the cost, it should be cost effective, because to using the particular cloud computing, it should be required that it should be highly cost effective. So this is the most highly cost effective, because it operates at high efficiency with the high optimization utilization. It just requires the internet connection. That is the basic need. We can say that requires the internet connection, but it is the cost effective technology, which is very emerging technology used in the various technologies. So it also helps in load balancing. so that it can be more reliable. We can easily trust, or we can easily scale these things or reliable the things. So these are the various advantages of a cloud computing. Next, coming to the topic, that these are the benefits. Advantages we have already discussed. These are the various benefits, like application as a utilities over the internet. The same advantages we have discussed. Then we can easily manipulate and the configure. Wait a minute. In the short points I have discussed that these are the detailed explanation of the points. This is the through the diagrammatically we can explain that these are the benefits, like it provides the application as a utilities over the internet. Then we are having a manipulate and the configure the apps through online. No software is required, no installation is no software is required. Then we can easily online deploy or develop this application. Next benefit is resources are easily available on that particular network. In the any network we can easily access these resources. Then we are having the advantages, that is the on-demand self-service, that is the benefit. Then we are having again the benefit is that it is a very cost effective. The last benefit is highly efficient, reliable, and the flexible. So these are the advantages and the benefits of the cloud computing. Now, let's discuss about the risk. For any technology, that what are the risks can become in the cloud computing? What are the disadvantages we can see that? So these are the risks that is related to the cloud computing. So let's discuss this particular terms. They are the various risks can be involved related to the security and the privacy. So security and the privacy, it is the basic and the biggest concern about the cloud computing, since data management and the infrastructure management in the cloud is provided by the third party. So that's why it is always a risk to hand over the sensitive information to the cloud service providers. So this is the risk we can say that it is provided by the cloud computing. That that came into our minds, but although it doesn't happen, but this is the risk. It can be happen. It can be happen. These are the risks which can be happen. Although the cloud computing vendors ensures the highly secured password protected accounts, any sign of security breach may result into the loss of customer and the business. These are the consideration of the privacy and the security terms. Now, the next risk can be involved in the cloud computing is that is the lock-in. What is the lock-in? It is very difficult for the customer to switch from one cloud service provider to the another. This is the another risk which can be involved. It results in the dependency of the particular CSP. Means we are dependent on the particular cloud service providers for the any services. So we are dependent on that particular person. So that can be a risk for a customer. Now, the next risk can be isolation failure. Means whenever we are integrating many technology, many modules integrating, so it can be a failure for that. So the risk involves the failure of isolation mechanism that separates the storage, memory, and routing between the different tenants. Means we are using the different tenants, we are using the different storage things. So integrate them, and this is the maybe it can be in the failure of an isolation mechanism. So the next risk can be a management interface compromise. Means in case of public cloud provider, the customer may suffer from this particular interfaces. Means the customer management interfaces are accessible through the internet only. So this can be a compromise for the customer. So it can be a risk that can be evolved. Now the next risk can be that is the insecure or the incomplete data deletions. Means many at a time we used to delete the data, but many of the reasons can be there from that the data can't be deleted. So what are the possible reasons that can be result into the incomplete data deletions? So these are the reasons that the extra copies of a data are stored but are not available at the time of deletion. So it can be a reason for that. The next reason is that the disk that stores the data of a multiple tenants is destroyed. So it is also a reason for the it is also a risk of a cloud computing for the incomplete data deletions. So these are the insecurities or the incomplete data deletions. So these are the 5 risks which are the mainly reasons for the risk evolved in the cloud computing. Now, how the cloud computing came into the existence, what are the basic terminology in this particular cloud computing, how the time changes and the cloud computing came into the existence. These are the evolution of a cloud computing, in which we are having a multiple computings, in which we have upgraded the things from the abstractions, simplification, and the capability aggregations. Means we are doing the many processes related to that. Now, we are having a different type of computing, like the first one is grid computing. Then we are having a utility computing, software as a service. Then we are having a cloud computing. In the grid computing, what we are having, we are solving the large problems in the parallel computing. Means we are solving different type of problems at a parallel time. So we will discuss further about this. Then we are having a utility computing. In the utility computing, it is offered as a meter service. Means whatever service you are using, they are charges according to that. Like in many places we think about that the auto rickshaws charge according to the meter. Means however amount is coming according to the meter, they are charging for that. So these type of resources, however amount of resources you are using, that type of amount is charged. So these are the utility computing. Then we are having a software as a service, in which we are having a network based subscription to the applications. Then the cloud computing came in the existence, that is in which we are accessing the data in the anytime, anywhere, or the virtualized concept came over in the existence. So we will discuss the various advantages and the disadvantages about these all computing. So discuss one by one. These are the cluster computing. As we know that what is cluster, in which we are having a group of computers connected to each other in a particular place. In a single computer, we are having the particular computer, and these computers are linked through a lane. Means we are working in the local area. Now the cluster, it can be a centralized, or we can say that it manages the scheduling system. So in the cluster computing, we are working on the scheduling system and the job management, because it is a centralized things. All of the computer in the clusters use the same hardware or the same operating system. This is the criteria of the cluster computing, in which, for example, if we are having this is the local area network, and we are having a different devices over here. In the local area network only we are working. This is the type of a cluster computing. Means all the resources of a cluster are managed at the centralized resource manager, in which we are having some main components, like we are having a multiple standalone computers, we are having an operating system, we are having a high performance interconnects, so that these can be connect to each other. We are having a communication softwares, and we are having a different applications to connect with them, because we are working over here as a parallel thing. We will discuss about the parallel computing and the distributed computing also in this lecture in the further slides. So what are the various advantages and the disadvantages of using this cluster computing is, we can easily deploy these things. It is an open system, so it is a very cost effective thing. So we can easily deploy. It is very cost effective. It also supports the various sources of and it can easily supply the things. It is very flexible, or according to the optimization, or talking about the performance, it is very good. Then it also saves the times of a searching on the net for the latest driver. So this is the advantages. There are the various disadvantages also of the cluster computing is, whenever this is the small size, whenever the size is increased, then we are having a problematic situations. So this is the main advantages. Whenever the clusters become the high and the number of the clusters are increasing, then we are having a difficulty task. So that is the disadvantages. Then we are having grid computing. Then grid computing is a combination of resources from multiple administrations domain in which we can reach to a common target, means in which we are having a group of computer which can be distributed on the several location. In the cluster computing, we are talking about the same location, but in the grid computing, we are having a several locations, and number of group of grids are connected to the each other. So it does not require it does not require to be present in the same locations. So these are the various advantages and the disadvantages. We will discuss about these advantages in the one diagram I'm just showing. This is the basic diagram where we are having all the computing like cluster computing, grid computing, utility computing, cloud computing. So these are the characteristics. Like first, the characteristics of the cluster computing is it is the tightly coupled. It have the single system image. Then we are having the centralized management system. So these are the advantages: easy to deploy, complete, open, easy to manage. It is flexible, it is optimized, it is expandable. Now it is used for the these are the advantages for the grid, that it is the loosely coupled. This is the basic difference between the cluster and the grid. That is, it is the tightly coupled and it is the loosely coupled. Then we are having a diversity and the dynamized. Means in the cluster computing we are using as a centralized management, but over the in the grid computing we are using the distributed management scheduling over here. So here what we require, we does not require the computers to be present in the same location. Here the physical locations can be different. So these are the various advantages and the features of the grid computing. Now talking about the utility computing, it is having a various characteristics like the scalability, demand pricing, means according to the demand we are pricing for that. These are the characteristics, and we can share the web and the other resources in the shared pool. This is the various characteristics of that, and it is having a automation. Now, what is the advantages of the utility computing? It is having the lower computer cost. How much amount of computers we require, how much utility we are using. So it is lowering the cost of the computer cost. Subscription of a single service with the same suite of a software. Means if we will use the single subscription for the multiple computer, that will be easier. So it is again, it is a cost effective thing. This is the advantages. Now it is compatible and unlimited storage capacity is provided by the utility computing. So what is the disadvantages? Now it needs the fast interconnect. Some applications don't take the full advantages of the new models. Sometimes no licenses across the many servers for the some applications. It also includes the many smaller servers across the various administration domains, and there are the various political challenges also. So these are the various comments that came for the utility computing, that computers need not to be in the same physical location, and the memory, storage devices and the network communication are managed by the OS or the basic physical and the cloud units. Means over here the communications are managed by the operating system and the physical and the cloud unit. Now we have discussed all these utilities. Now coming to the cloud computing, why the cloud computing came into the existence. So the other various characteristics of the cloud computing, that is all demand, self-service, broad network access, resource pooling, rapid elasticity, and the measured services. This thing we will discuss in the further slide. What are the various characteristics in the brief thing. So what are the advantages that we have already discussed, that it lowers the computer cost, it improves the performance. According to these computing, it improved the performance of the cloud computing. It also reduced the software cost, instant software updates. It also provides us the instant software updates. It provides us the improved document format. It also increased the data reliability. It also provides us the universal document access. This is the base example is the Wikipedia, where we can easily access anything from the Wikipedia. latest version of the availability of the documents. So we don't have to upgrade or update our softwares. It automatically do. We have to use the services and we can pay for that. Now, these are the disadvantages that we have already discussed. So let's discuss about the differences between the parallel computing and the distributed computing. This is the most common question asked in the exams, in the interview point of questions. So just discuss what is the difference, basic difference between this parallel computing and the distributed computing. Now, parallel computing means we are doing many operations, but we are performing simultaneously. We are performing many operations simultaneously. But in case of a distributed computing, system components are located at the different locations. Means they are the various components of this particular. So they are present at the different locations. Now we can easily compute the things on the single computer. Means in the parallel computing, only single computer is required. But in case of a distributed computing, we require the multiple computers so that we can easily execute the different components of a system, so that we can integrate at last. Now, in the case of a parallel computing, multiple processes perform the multiple operations. Means the different operations are performed by the processors. But in the case of a distributed computing, multiple computers perform the multiple operations. Means we have divided into the, like, these are the multiple computers. These are executing the different operations. But over here, in case of parallel computing, only processors works. So in case of parallel computing, the memory is shared. It may have the shared or the distributed memory across the processors. But in case of distributed computing, we have only distributed memory. Means the memory are distributed at the several locations. Now, the next difference in the parallel computing is processors communicate with each other through the bus. There is a bus communication in the local area network. We communicate through the processors. Means the processors are communicating with each other through the bus. But in case of a distributed computing, the computers communicate with each other through the message passing. Message passing means first the request is sent, then the response will be sent. So the communication is done by the message passing. So parallel computing improves the system performance. But in case of a distributing computing, it improves the scalability, it improves the fault tolerance, it improves the resource sharing capability. So they are the various advantages of the distributed computing. So these are the basic difference between the parallel computing and the distributed computing, which are mainly asked in the exams. So this is the exam point of view question, and which is very important topic. Next, just discuss about the various characteristics of the cloud computing. As we have already discussed about all these things, these are the different types, these are the various types of a cloud that we have already discussed. These were the parts of the deployment models: private cloud, community cloud, public cloud, and the hybrid cloud. In the previous lecture, we have already discussed. Then we have already discussed about these particular services provided by the service model, that is software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. So what are the essential characteristics for these? So what are the essential characteristics? This is the basic characteristic, that is on-demand self-service. Next one is broad network access. Then we are having a rapid elasticity. Then we are having a resource pooling. Then we are having a measured service. These are the essential, that is the basic need of a cloud computing. These are the essential characteristics of the cloud computing, and these are the common characteristics like massive scale, homogeneity, virtualization, low-cost software, resilient computing, geographic distribution, service orientation, and the advanced security. So these are the common characteristics. So let's discuss about the essential characteristics of the cloud computing. This is the essential characteristics. That is, first one is on-demand self-service. What we what do we understand by this particular term? Means whenever we require to use the web services, whenever we require to use the resources, how much amount of resources we required, we can use on demand. We can easily access these services, we can use these services, we can log into the website at any time and use them according to the demand. We can use the resources and the application in anytime, anywhere. So this is the basic advantages or characteristics of the cloud computing. Then we are having the advantages that is broad network access, in which the cloud computing is completely web-based. Means we can easily access from anywhere at any time. So that is the broad network access, means from anywhere we can easily access. Means one person is sitting at any other place and the things are over here, so he can easily access the things from here also. So the things are captured and over the servers, so that each and every person can easily access the things. This is the web based, so anyone can access from the anywhere or anytime. Next thing is resource pooling. According to the needs, multiple tenants can share a pool of resources. He or she can share the single physical instance of a hardware, database, or the basic infrastructure. Means resources can be pooled according to the needs. Then the advantages, that is rapid elasticity. Means we can, according to the number of users, we can easily scale up and scale down the things. So scaling of the resources means the ability of the resources to deal with increasing or decreasing the demands. Means whenever the customer is requiring any point of time, it requires the resources increasing demand or the decreasing demand, he or she can increase the demand or easily access can used. So this is the characteristics, that is the rapid elasticity. Then it provides the measured service. Means whatever the services are provided by the service cloud providers, it controls and monitors all the aspects of the services, like resources optimizations according to the billing, capacity planning, etc. So these are the various characteristics of a cloud computing. So thank you. And further about the cloud computing, we will discuss in the further lectures.